enormous sinkhole. Gosh, awful. I've got one more little story for you, actually a couple more. Britain's mistletoe capital, if you knew there was one, Tenbury Wells, will host its annual auction today. They've been set. And I'm afraid a slightly less Christmassy story to end with. A Michelin-starred chef is urging thieves to return his stolen van containing 2,500 pies. Tommy Banks is saying that the van itself, which is a refrigerated van, can be replaced. You know, he's like, of course, it's awful for him. Yeah. He was saying that his whole team has spent hours and hours preparing all this food. He's like, it's of no use to the town. He can't sell them to the public. But what are the thieves going to do with a load
of... an absolutely
awful. Yeah.
And he's absolutely conscience.
Yes, exactly. There are lunch clubs everywhere which help, you know, pensioners and so on at this time of year who could do with that.
Can we just go back to the mistletoe thing?
The BBC chose to broadcast last night's episode of MasterChef despite calls from MPs to take it off air. The Queen will miss the start of a two-day morning. The Prime Minister says the UK will never turn away from its partnership with the US and will build stronger bonds with Europe. In his first major foreign policy speech overnight, Sir Keir Starmer rejected the idea of having to choose between Britain's allies and insisted the UK will support Ukraine for as long as it takes. Let's get more on all of this with our... The number of blue badge thefts in London has quadrupled in recent years, according to new figures from the Metropolitan Police. In the year to October, almost 5,400 cars that allow the permit holder to park in allocated disabled bays were stolen. Campaigners are calling for local authorities to take some urgent action. Liz Summers explains. Engineers are working on ways to plug a giant sinkhole in a residential street near Merthyr Tydfil, which was caused by the heavy rain from recent storms. Around 30 homes have been evacuated amid concerns that road damage is still growing. Our senior correspondent, a particularly important speech for the Prime Minister.
Good morning.
You've seen it. I mean, is it as shocking as it sounds?